Hey, are we live? I said, are we live? Oh, that my voice cracked a little bit right there. Are we live? Maybe. Just maybe. VigilanteWilliamson here on another episode of me playing games. Today is on Thursday. Usually we do Sunday night games, but we're doing something on Thursday. I want to at least try to do twice a week. So I need an additional show with Sunday. And hey, got my man Ascension Dildo and Tom Jensen saying howdy. Howdy to both of you guys. Going to start off with the Vampire Survivors, which is kind of taking over Streets of Rage's spot as the cool down or cool up game, cool off game, whatever. Warm up game is probably a better term. I just woke up, so I'm a little tired. See, New Mount Turks also showed up. Appreciate it. Hopefully I'm audible. Hopefully the sound is okay so far. It's showing me like I'm on and showing me like I'm audible. There should be no music or anything. Yeah, I'm still kind of taking a little smoke pre-break. Appreciate anyone watching live or on the playback. Got a few little subjects I wanted to try to touch on while we game. And if you haven't, I've talked about this channel, changing direction, having more music, a few shorts put out the past couple days, me making a beat. I'm going to actually turn it into a video, full-fledged video, and put the beat out on SoundCloud or something. So there's that. So I've the shorts are already up. I'm gonna try to get a video done this weekend when I'm off. Okay, here we go again with these crashes. OBS just crashed. I don't think I was down that long, but OBS crashed. So here we go again with this shit. This will be fun. Hopefully that's OBS getting the crash out the way. It wasn't just you, since you did though. I don't know why. I have no idea why OBS crashes. With games, I haven't used StreamYard in a minute. And partially because I've been playing some of the games. Games just don't really work with StreamYard. So it's like I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. So what do you do, right? What do you do? I'm still kind of letting people come in, taking a little smoke breather before we get into this hardcore gaming action. And like I said, got a few subjects I want to talk about. I want to talk about the recent sale of Quality Control, a.k.a. the Migos label. We talked about the takeoff thing. I'm in the Houston area. And I you guys know how I think about a lot of things as far as conspiracies. But to see that this label was just recently sold for $320 million. Only a few months after, 1/3 of the biggest group and biggest act of the label pass away in such crazy circumstances, man. I know I'm a conspiracy theorist. I know I get a lot of shit from this, but you don't got to be a conspiracy theorist to wonder what the fuck happened. Yeah, they recently sold, ironically enough, to a group supposedly headed by Justin Bieber's old management. Something like $320 million Quality Control sold for. So it's like, wow. So I wanted to touch on that. Could touch a little bit on some of the because now that I have a little bit of a grip, I'm gonna go out on a limb. Yeah, that's what that's what I would think. And there was even before this that tragedy happened, there was a lot of supposedly pushback between Amigos and the label itself. I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb and say either he didn't want to sell or he didn't want to sell his portion that he might have been entitled to, or, I mean, maybe he didn't get the information. They just say, we just don't want to give him his cut. You know what I'm saying? He might not even know there was a sale going down, and they just said, you know what? We don't want to give him his cut. It's just outright poor, just straight up greed. We don't know, but something, it don't look right. It don't look right to me. It just don't. And I mean, I know I'm not the only one. This is one of those things that you're getting people who don't even think like I do when it comes to conspiracies. Starting to wonder what the fuck, because it's just too much money. It's too. I know, and we'll get into it. Let me just get into the damn game because I'm talking already. I'm talking already because there's this and there's some other conspiracy stuff that I talk about. That's like, hey, I know I talk about conspiracy shit, and you don't have to believe it, you don't have to buy it. But with this shit, man, with this, you know what I mean? When somebody dies and then something that they're associated with sells for $300 million a few months later, I got a right to ask questions. Like, what the crash, right? Like, okay, I'm not saying that, you know, I've had OBS issues, obviously. So there's no telling whether or not that was just an honest OBS issue, but just the timing seems like, you know what I mean? I said something that maybe was a little spicy, and they're like, all right, you got to go, guy. I don't know. Just a guy. Just a guy. I don't know, man. You tell me. You tell me. Hold on a second. Right back to something. Gosh darn, I'm dropping shit. It's gosh darn bow. Okay, hold on. All right, let's get into this. Let's get back to the talking. Oh, Jesus. So, like I was saying, I don't know what happened. So I live in the area, but I don't be outside. I don't know what happened. What I do know is the brother passed on, and the label that he was associated with, that he was 1/3 of the biggest act, sells for $300 million a few months after he dies. Now, I don't know what happened. I'm not a legal expert. I'm not a, you know, I'm just a guy. But I'm saying I'm not crazy for wondering if these things are related, right? Just like, shit, you guys remember that plane that went down? And then, like, one of the guys that was on the plane, I forgot what the fuck he did, but he was, like, very important. And it's like, I wonder if this had something to do with the plane going down. It was, what the hell? I'm trying to think what the guy did that made it so, like, crazy. But it's that sort of thing. It's just like, okay, listen, I know, especially on this channel, I can be out there. Black people, no, fans care about money. It's $300 million label. So now all that, you know, institutional racism don't mean shit when it comes to $320 million, man. And like I said, I was talking about Scooter Braun, or Justin Bieber's former management team bought it. He's Caucasian, so yeah. That's. I'm sorry. That's not. I'm sorry, Sentient X. That's not gonna make me safe amongst the feds. Oof. Just had to take a shit ton of damage. Golly, I'm getting clipped. Hell, Courtney. See, Courtney showed up. Who else is here? Papa Cotton, New Mom Turk, who, if I may have mentioned one of these crashes. This damn thing has crashed a few times. I'm taking a shit ton of damage. I think I got to power up so my health will slowly regenerate, but it does not look like it. But yeah, I think something's fishy with that, man. And I mean, there's not going to be much investigation. I don't know what it is with some of these rap related deaths. Speaking of another rap related death, XXXTentacion, and the thing with him and Drake, so they are doing a trial on his murder, and one of the prosecuting attorneys was trying to get Drake on the stand because of some of his lyrics and some of the things he said that makes it seem like he's associated with the death of XXXTentacion. That's another guy. He's also connected to some Houston, Jay Prince, and the guys I was just talking about in the first story. Technically, I was focusing on the Migos, but obviously they were at Jay Prince's son's, or was it Jay Prince's birthday party, or his son's birthday party? Somebody's. The Migos were when the shooting happened, and then you have Drizzy Drake Rogers, Aubrey Graham himself, who talked a lot, who had a lot to say about XXXTentacion and not see on. They weren't eye to eye, so to speak. And now he's passed on, and investigator out in Florida wanted him to be on the stand to talk about some of his lyrics, but it was blocked. So it's not gonna happen. But it's just like, okay. And then Drake famously, the stuff that this guy gets away with, famously had a obvious relationship with Millie Bobby Brown while she was underage, and nothing came of that either. So I mean, this guy can kind of do what he wants. You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm putting beats out on the internet, so I should, I'm trying to do my own little music thing. I shouldn't be talking about him, but I mean, I'm independent. Who gives a shit? But it just shows how crazy it is, man. This Aubrey Graham character, everything I'm saying is alleged. But I mean, the pictures of him and Millie Bobby Brown, that's not, I didn't post those bitch motherfuckers and some of that shit. And it was just okay. She's on Stranger Things. He's a celebrity. It doesn't matter how old she is. Like The Rock said, it doesn't matter. And so it's like, okay. And then, he's saying all these, if he was alive in that life, he'd be alive again, and all these other crazy lyrics. And an investigator wants to say, hey, why are you saying all this stuff about a dead guy? Did you, is this just some ignorant rap shit, or is this like some real shit? And judge just blocked it. Man, here we go again with this craziness, man. Here we go again with this. Am I back? I'm still spinning. Hopefully I'm back. Okay, it looks like I'm back. Yeah, I got sticky with the convo. And since you did, I made a point about the Ukraine, talking about 300 million ain't shit. They spent that much on Ukraine in a day. Really, they do. The money they spend on the Ukraine is just unforgivable. Again, not trying to pick a side in the conflict. I'm just saying, bro, it's not. We ain't got it. It doesn't matter what the side is. We ain't got it. We are struggling as a country. Struggling. We can't even keep eggs. We can't afford eggs. We can't afford gas. We can't afford shit. So we can't afford to get, like, whatever struggle y'all in, y'all gonna have to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, guys. Not to be that guy, but it just is what it is. Economics are what they are, man. Math is what it is. You can't get blood from a fucking turnip, my guy. But Corn Pop, yeah, we're doing great. Corn Pop. Oh, fuck him and the horse he rode in on. But yeah, it's just weird how that shit works, man. And this hip hop music, it just seems like That's why there's so many conspiracies when it comes to the music industry and just like, or just entertainment industry. It seems like they operate with a different set of laws. We can look at Hollywood and the kids. You know what I mean? Look at what Dan Snyder did. There's been a lot made about Justin Roiland recently. Rick and Morty fame. But look at what Dan Snyder was doing with Amanda Bynes and some of these young ladies at Nickelodeon. And it's like nothing didn't even matter. Didn't even matter. Let alone what the Coreys, both Haim and Feldman, talked about. It just is like this sick industry could just operate with immunity and still, I mean, shit, we already speaking spicy, yet still, Miss Maxwell, you know, sent to jail for trafficking to nobody. Nobody on that list has been prosecuted. It's just like there's a different set of rules for a different class of people, and the higher you are in that class, the more favorable the rule set is to your deplorable behavior, regardless of whether it is. And don't think, I know a lot of people may feel whatever they feel about rap, but like we had Cameron Pasha go on record on Culture Crime Fighters and tell you a movie exec has no problem getting something done, so to speak, if for his movie. He will put, he will get another exec out of there just for using his actor too much. That's what a movie execs do. And, the same type of stakes, the same type of money. We talk about, the money XXX Tentacion, the money Drake generates. It's, it's a lot of money, man. There's a lot of money being argued about. A lot of money people are talking about, So it's like, I can see some actually going on. Of course it's fucking plausible. Of course it's fucking plausible. So I don't know. Neo-feudalism for the win. Hillary eats babies. That should fix it. Oh boy. Not sure if that's gonna fix it, Papa Cotton. And right to the Ukraine. Yeah. Post a picture. Carter A. This is talking about balling, right? That's how it is, though. I mean, it's a struggle. We're in the economic struggle. The struggle is very real, man. And it's about to get worse, man. I don't see how. It's about to hit crazy. It ain't really hit yet. That's the worst part. If you know, you know. It ain't really hit yet. Oh, here we go. I think this is death. Yep. Oh, wait. Nope. Oh, yeah, it's another one. Alanis Morissette, Dave Collier. She was young. I think she was 17. Yeah, we talk about the young girl shit. That shit's been going on for a long time. Yeah, Agenda 2030 cut. They already got us eating some bugs. You got to know that, unfortunately. I hate to know, Who knows what they're putting in our food? Even you think, oh well, I'll just go with fruits and vegetables, man. A lot of that shit's GMO, even if they don't say it's GMO. It's just the reality, man. Damn it. So yeah. Oh, she was 15? 17 is too old for those degenerates? 15. I thought it was, because that was we talked a little bit before, but then between crashes, because apparently the conversation is too spicy, talked a little bit about the Justin Roiland thing. I think the girls in that case were 16, 17. Not like that's better, but I mean, technically that's the age of consent in most states and in a lot of countries. So, as sick as it is, I don't know how illegal it is. That said, just off the strength of the rep, you would think in a just society, so to speak, Hollywood and the entertainment industry would be investigated for some of this shit. You know what I mean? It's just too much of it for this to be so little. Oh, shit. I just got clapped up. But just to be so little investigation. You know what I mean? And then, I mean, really, not just so little investigation. Let's just be honest. So little real pushback from actual, you know what I mean? Did the mainstream really care? Did normal people really care? Do normies really care about this shit? Because they do a terrible job at, you know what I mean? Actually portraying that they give a fuck. Golly. I'm getting clapped up though. So it's like, I don't know. I can't call it. We all remember the infamous Cuties Wars. Did anybody really care? Did Netflix really get canceled? We see a lot of these entertainment companies, and we might touch on that a little bit, have financial issues. But I don't feel like anything bad happened to Netflix. For real, from the whole Cuties thing. Do you? Damn it, is there anything with health now? Goodness gracious. Hey, here we go. Let me see. It's too deep. It says bipolar god of science fiction. They do not care about the fentanyl death. Oh, that's sheesh. We can talk about fentanyl, opioid deaths, drug overuse deaths. They don't care about homelessness that they're trying to encourage amongst the masses. They are trying to make the populace more homeless. While passing laws to make homelessness illegal, but then doing everything they can with the housing. I've talked about how hard it is to get housing, even when you can afford it, just because of all the craziness with this basically automated housing because of these big ass companies buying up all these rental properties. So it's just like, and then we all know how hard it is to get a home nowadays. Home prices went through the roof. You know what I'm saying? So there's a whole crisis. They're trying to make as many mentally ill, drug addicted people as possible, and they do not care about the deaths involved whatsoever. Whatsoever. So that's its own can of fucking worms in and of itself. Hold on, and I'm sorry if I'm not looking at everything in the chat, because as you see, this shit is getting hectic. Shit's getting real, so to speak. So I apologize. Oy vey. Ooh. All right, sorry, got super silent. Just trying to make it in this crazy world. Oh yeah, existing homeowners upside down their mortgage. I didn't even say that. This is a clusterfuck, and don't think it isn't by design, man. Don't think we just happen to end up in this way. I mean, I know the people in this chat know, but I mean, we might have some newbies. Saw me making some beats, then see me playing games. Maybe don't know exactly what this channel is about. It was just so easy to make Doritos out of crickets. They probably are making Doritos out of crickets. That's what I was kind of talking about. Yeah, the WEF, shout out to even Bipolar knows about the World Economic Forum. Yeah, this is what they want. It's what they want. That won't be because you need the health now. Hold on. Shit. So now I'm getting into the game because I'm like, I've been trying to get to damn level 20 so we can get a new level for so fucking long. It's been a fucking nightmare. This is one of the better runs I've had, so I'm sorry if I'm a little silent because you guys are going off in the chat. That's the thing. I'm sitting there trying to talk about these subjects, and it's like, oh shit, I gotta play games. It gets intense. But I guess that's the show. That's the show. Oh man. Ah shit. Please be health. Nope. Shit. It's getting very annoying. Thank you for dealing with this stream. With these issues, man. I do not know why OBS crashes on me like that. Hell, James Gype. And sorry if I missed your comments earlier in the chat. I've been trying to get to them, and so I'll just take this. It's deeply embedded because we were talking about the craziness in the entertainment sphere. Netflix did profit off of the conspurging. That's why they changed the poster in the first place. You're not wrong, since you dildo. Sometimes I think, well, hey, Survival of the Fittest, by Stephen King or Richard Bachman, which was one of Stephen King's pseudonyms. There probably will be a great reset, but it won't be what Cotton Shop has in mind. I don't know. I mean, they've gone so far. We've already reset some, right? It's supposedly a great economic reset coming. And Fedcoin is rumored, and apparently already a lot of stuff is going on that front. So goodbye to privacy, goodbye to free speech, because now your speech will be targeted. Oh, you called someone you misgendered them, so I'll take it up. But yeah, you misgendered this individual, so as a result, you don't get to use your money anymore. So we're in for some shit, man. We're in for some shit. That's the bottom line. We're in for the Chinification of the West. And it'll be done with applause. There's still a lot of snooty people who look down on, oh, American and your gun. There's still right now. People have lost all their freedoms. Been forced to wear a face diaper. Been forced to get the dye suddenly jab. And they still wondering why people are trying to protect themselves from the government. Still to this day. Damn it! That was a good run. That was a good run. Went down the rabbit hole this week about the whole commie woke being the modern version of Gnostic, Hermetic religions. Gotta just share some lectures on that. Interesting. This dildo river runs deep, apparently. Talk about Klaus Schwab. Yeah, he definitely has the super villain garb down pat. Golly, that was a good run to unfortunately not make it. We're gonna keep going though. So I saw some LGBT. What does it say? Uh-oh. Let me see what you said. It's LBGTQ plus RIA Sega Genesis. Lambda, you're making fun of LGBTQ. I know someone who doesn't have a problem with the government taking away our guns and tagging everyone like a dog. Drives me insane to talk to her. I just couldn't talk to her. And then Cinch Dildo has put a lecture that compares to the woke movement to modern or to Hermeticism and other ancient spiritual beliefs. That's pretty interesting. I had to check that out after the stream, obviously. You know, you need to get on social media. I know everyone tells you that Cinch Dildo, but it's true, man. And I hate that I'm the one telling, because social media is the damn devil at the same time. And I hate, telling people, oh yeah, you should get on it, Just, cause I used to hate when people tell me that shit. Like, no, I ain't get on that demonic bullshit. But man, you're entertaining. Plus, it's just times I'm like, man, there's no means of contacting you. I have to do a stream to contact you. So, or you be having interesting shit like that. I think the people need more dildo in their life. The people, the culture demands it. Had more issues than this stream. I mean, good God, every 5 seconds this damn thing crashes. Hopefully I'm back. This thing has crashed a ton in this stream. Thank you for anyone who's dealing with this live or on the playback. Because we're going to still go. We're going to still talk. We're going to still talk our shit. Speaking of fucked up shit, the Christian Economic Forum. I've not heard of that. I can only imagine what that might be. Straight up. I've been watching stuff. The Grammys were on, was it Sunday? I haven't watched the Grammys in so long. Because who gives a shit? But a lot was made, if you are someone who believes in Christ. There was a lot of Satanist imagery, the Sam Smith performance. But a lot was made at old Kirk Franklin, guy who I do not trust along those lines. I think there's a lot of signs that he might have sold out for the industry, and all the way out if you understand what the industry wants. There's apparently only a few doors, and I think he took the back door, if you know what I mean. But that notwithstanding, it's like he's there, he's winning awards at this ceremony where you have all this literal, Satan worship, or at least Satan imagery, satanic imagery. They say it's artistic or whatever. That's what they always say. Okay, it's artistic. But just as a person who's supposedly a Christian or who supposedly believes in the Bible, don't you say something? Don't you do anything? Do you say, hey, this is a step too far? You do nothing. You got nothing to say. And so there was a little bit made about that. I know the church system is completely corrupt, man. One of the first things about the society that we live in, because, it's easy to wonder, well, how the fuck did we get here? How did we get here? Shout out to Talking Heads. Like, how did we get in this crazy society? And one of the first things was the end of God in a lot of people's eyes, and everyone becoming more humanistic and naturalistic and moralist relativity. I may not be saying that right, but basically morals became relative. And a lot of that, the church was the first thing that was attacked, and that was back before most of the people in this chat were born. They did that, and they I think they sowed a lot of cultural distrust for organized religion, which you should have distrust for organized religion, make no mistake. But the baby with the bathwater got thrown out, and a lot of cultural things got thrown out, and a lot is missing because we're in a godless society. People, I think, some of the strange parasocial relationships we talked about them in the fandom minutes, we talked about them in the manosphere, we talked about them throughout the internet, the modern internet culture. People have this, get deeply obsessed with creators, and creators get deeply obsessed with what they do. You know what I mean? And now you have this unhealthiness that's based upon this lack of work. You're supposed to worship something, and now you can't worship God. You're too smart to worship God. All the science told you that's not right. Believe the science, of course. You don't want to be a idiot. So you're too smart to worship God, and now your need for worship hasn't been placated. So now you put that need for worship, into another human, and that's where the danger starts. And that's where you can, even if you're not, I believe in God, I believe in the Bible, but even if that's not you, surely you can see the value and take the first commandment, which says, take no other gods but me. Because, especially the take no other gods part, because you see what happens when humans take a content creator as a god, a quote unquote movement as a god. We're fighting. People still think, man, whether they're with quote unquote fandom or some little conservative thing, we're fighting to save our freedoms. We're fighting the great culture war. We've been drafted in the culture war, and they buy into it. You know what I'm saying? On either side, on the left or the right. You know what I mean? The whole I'm social justice warrior. You know what I mean? I'm saving the world. I'm getting clipped. That's what I'm getting. But you know what I mean? I'm making the world a better place. That's the whole thing. The activism, making the community a better place. So we see people get caught up in these causes, and my theory is that because they become please be health. I really need health. Shite. I'm one hit from death. Thank you. But basically these places, or these internet outlets, whatever we're talking about in the modern world, whether it's the like of a musician, a content creator, a sports hero, there's a certain level of unhealthiness and unhingedness, because a lot of that, admiration or whatever fandom has been replaced by worship. Because we're in a society that, of which organized religion has literally destroyed the religious experience, I think, for a lot of people. So that's my spiel on that, I guess. What do you do? Serious, watch the lecture. I'm gonna have to check it out. I'm gonna have to check out the lecture. And you guys too. You check out what he linked. I'll try to survive this cold world, Vampire Survivor. Sheesh. I really need health. Please be health here. It's not. Let me see. Grew up as a Sam Smith as a hat. He had that one song when he first started that with the little, I guess you would almost call it hyper pop, little sound in the back, little voice sound. I did like that. That was like 10 years ago, though, right? Grew up as a metalhead since Papa Cotton during the Satanic Panic in the 80s. They gotta do better to freak me out. Gay Satan is not intimidating. Yeah, Sam Smith is not an intimidating guy. But it's just like, call it out. If you're supposed to be a Christian, that's the thing. At least it was a Satanic Panic for whatever it's worth. And hey, if you know, there's a little bit more. Oh, damn it. I was so close to getting to level 20. Social justice equals racism, yeah. Social justice equals all isms, man. We've talked about that. The feminists don't like women either. Black BLM was a Soros thing. That's another can of worms. So going back to the Christian Economic Forum, Central Ditto says it's connected to the World Economic Forum. I'm not surprised. Want to use $250 trillion in Christian hands to usher in a great reset utopia founded by some mega church pastors. Do not trust the mega churches. Fevered egos tainting our collective subconsciousness. Bill Hicks. Hell, bipolar. You can only affect the award shows by not watching. I don't watch any award shows, man. I haven't watched them even before I was, conspiracied out and cultured out, whatever. I just didn't like them because I didn't think they mattered. I hadn't cared, I hadn't cared in a while. We're talking like 2008-ish. I started to get really disillusioned from these shows. I'm going to play some more of this, and then we're going to probably switch games after this run. We've had some pretty good runs. We're getting a little better at the game. But, yeah, man. It's craziness. But, yeah, there was a little, why didn't you just say something, man. Say what you will about the Satanic Panic, and like I was saying, there was a little something to it, knowing what we know now about the record industry. It wasn't totally just propaganda. There was something to it. Some of these people do worship Satan. Some of these people do sacrifice stuff. Some of these people do put a little MK Ultra little shit in their music to drive people crazy, and shit, it's little MK Ultra shit and entertainment shit and all sorts of shit to activate sleeper cells into some violent acts, which is half of the reason we got a lot of every few weeks you see some crazy attack in the news is some sleeper cell being triggered. But that's another can of worms for another day. But I mean, the thing I will say about the Satanic Panic, and I know a lot of people may not agree with it because of and that's, I'm a free speech guy, I get it, but at least you had people in that time. There was a conservative, if you want, that's when the conservatives actually had some power, because you had the at least alleged backing of God and at least the alleged belief in God to warn, okay, and the alleged, we're going to push back against something that's culturally wrong. Like there's still this like PTSD from how impactful the cultural right is, or was, in the 80s on back, 90s, 80s, 90s on back. 90s is where it started to end, but there's still that whatever you want to call it, that, oh man, the conservative right, you know what I mean? They don't even have nearly a tenth of the power and a tenth of the interest, or a tenth of the existence that they did long ago. But that's still, the moralistic right, don't legislate religion. I'm like, who's even caring about that? I guess you got the smortion stuff, but like that's not even a part of the conversation. It's like what conservative right, what Bible belt, what are you talking about? It's the meth belt now, my guy. You know what I'm saying? It's the opiate belt now, man. So like, what are you talking about? That doesn't exist. But there's still that push because of how powerful they once were. And a lot of it was just speaking out when you saw something that was crazy. And we have less of that culturally, to the point where you can get away with any goddamn thing. And some of it is, you don't want to get canceled for saying the wrong thing. You say the wrong thing about gender, your life is over. As we've seen with this fucking garbage, with this fucking, oh my God, this Hogwarts thing. I was interested in the game before it became a conservative talking point. I'm supposed to like it. It's like, oh, that made me not want it. Way to make me not give a shit about your game instantly. I was still apathetic, and I'm still gonna check out reviews for Hogwarts Legacy. But once it became some rallying cry, I'm like, okay, I immediately uncool. Like, uncool on both ends. They both the right and the left has just made that just a complete joke. Only God knows if the game's actually good, right? It's all that fucking matters. Is this game good? Yes or no? Not what political, God is. I'm getting tired of this shit. I don't know how long I can deal with this shit, man. It's getting to me. Like, stop crashing. Eye of Sauron. Harry Potter's like, I'm not a Harry Potter guy. I've never watched any of the movies, read any of the books, believe it or not. I know that's his own issue. I know that's his own issue, but yeah, I just thought, okay, this looks like an interesting game. Obviously games have become a bigger part of this channel. I always need more games to play, so I'm like, I might check it out. Yeah, was that Zax? Said if you want to be shy, oh, that's such a deal. You want to be edgy, come as Prophet Muhammad, please don't. I mean, you want the controversy that shit it caused? Holy smokes. Holy smokes. I mean, that'll be some destructive stuff, man. That'll be some, I mean, that'll because they don't mess with the Islam. Yeah, I mean, eventually they are going to come for Islam too, a little harder, because there's too many traditional values. They can't push this LGBTQ stuff in Muslim countries like that, in traditional countries like that. So, and there's just too much of the world's population that live in these countries. They still want to make these areas progressive, so they will go, and they'll send subtle shots at Islam, particularly in Europe, where there's a little bit more of a direct, direct interaction, I should say, between the West and Islam. But in any event, I do think they'll come from a little harder. But my whole point of that whole rant that got caught up in between the crashes, what it was that even if you don't agree with the satanic panic and some of the stuff that the right people on the right said, at least we lived at that point in a time where moralistic value still had some cultural value, where now moralism is so frowned upon. It's led to so many other destructive behaviors becoming normal, and that we live in such a godless society. People put their worship in the political. Part of the reason these political things are so important is because, again, people are too smart to believe in God, and that's become a thing. And on both sides, that's not just me criticizing the left when I say that, because I think a lot of the modern right is not as faith-based as it was in the past, for better or for worse. Shite. See, I don't know. Oh, I'm getting clipped. Shite. Please be health. Oh, shit. That's death. I don't know how I'm not dead. There I am. Truth, I'd rather stream blasting zombie brains and fantasize about how cool it was if it was a zombie apocalypse. Yeah, we're on the way to a real one, unfortunately. We're on our way for a real zombie apocalypse, unfortunately. And we're gonna, I don't know if this game gave us any issues with OBS. Actually, let me quit formally there. Oh, I got a new character. That's cool. But yeah, we're gonna call this, not this stream a night, even though we've gone an hour of it. We're gonna switch games actually into Tekken 7, which is the damn game I wanted to play over the weekend on Sunday night games. Soylent Green Fury Road. Oof. That's probably real life, my guy. The Soylent Green thing, man, eating anything makes me feel like, man, I hope this ain't a person. Because I don't know what. I remember I did a stream on the end of work, which I was talking about the work crisis. And I don't know if I brought it out in the stream or what, but in the process of doing some research, I came across there's only like 10 or 11,000 food processing workers. It was something in that nature. I maybe have the number wrong, but I feel like it was 5 figures with the numbers as far as food processing workers. It was something that you would think, how is that supposed to keep the whole country going? Just something about the food processing numbers don't seem plausible. It doesn't seem like there's enough food. You guys ever heard about that supposedly McDonald's use more beef than there are cows and shit like that? So it's just like, oh my God, there's something we don't want to know going on with the food supply, my guy. That's my channel so far off the political justice stuff. Don't need it, and that's why my channel has changed. I mean, I don't mind talking about it in this context with these games because it's a different thing, and then we can talk about anything. We don't have to always talk about the quote unquote heavier stuff. I mean, we don't. We talk about whatever, and it comes across it. But this is why I'm not covering it as hardcore. It's just not. It's not helpful. It hurt my channel. Let's just be honest. I've been on this platform now going close to 3 years. You're not going to convince me that that if I would have had a different subject matter, put in the same amount of work, that I wouldn't have done better. Especially when just doing the music stuff that I have done has shown some promise. So it's like, especially between TikTok, when you count my TikTok stuff, I've done only a few videos me making beats, and I got the one I did just this week did 800 views on TikTok. That I know it's TikTok and whatever, but for me, that's great. You know what I'm saying? So if I would have kept that consistent stuff up with a different subject that was not, as advertiser dangerous as a lot of politics stuff, I probably would be in a better space. Another thing I kind of mentioned Sunday when just, perusing the web and come across something with 9-inch nails, you got fucking Trent Reznor talking all this anti-Trump shit. Or you come across something, you got the governor, fuck your freedoms. And it's like, I don't want politics to be like something that destroys your enjoyment of the other stuff I do. Like, I want to do music, and I don't want to be like, oh, he's the guy who's political and this and that. It's like, I don't want that to color my art. You know what I'm saying? That's because, one thing I've always said, even when I was even more political, is like, I'm not going to lose a friend over arguing over which politician which politician we should go for when I know neither one of the sides give a shit about me. It's one big club when you ain't in it. So it's like, it's just like, the political stuff, it's weird. I don't want to say it's irrelevant, because it isn't, because we're in a crazy culture, but it's misguided. That's my thoughts, and I know a lot of people have other thoughts. Papa Kai just stopped uploading. I've got over 8,000 watch hours. I think, but I'm still not eligible because I don't have enough subs, and actually I think my watch hours has been reset multiple times because I've been on the platform long enough, and that's on me for not picking, the right content to cover, essentially. And part of that is just, if you have an opinion that's against the narrative, you're going to have issues. And I'm not trying to say I should have just bowed to free speech and became a lemming, guys. But it's like, there are hills that are worth dying on. And I died on some hills that probably weren't as worth dying on. Is it really worth me losing all the content and potential, my own potential creativity just to talk about fucking Kathleen Kennedy? You know what I'm saying? There's some hills worth dying on. If you say, hey, you know what? You covering that shit in Loudoun County about the fucking quote unquote allegedly non-binary attacker, and the guy going up there trying to defend his daughter and ended up on a FBI list and going to jail and all this other stuff because the person who attacked his daughter identifies as non-binary, and that's politically inconvenient. And when I say attack, I mean sexually attack his daughter, and it's inconvenient that the perpetrator went into the bathroom because of their quote unquote preferred gender, and when the motherfucker dad tries to ask him about it, he's transphobic. If covering that stuff hurt my channel, I'm cool with that. I'm cool down on that hill because that's fucking despicable, evil shit. And I think that, people need to know that this world is that fucking evil, and that there are people that the country has gone that evil. We're there. You know what I mean? You're waiting on. We are right there, bro. So like, I don't mind, or the stuff that I've covered. I'm like, yeah, I'm proud to talk. I don't mind even the Kyle Rittenhouse shit, even though I wish I would have covered it from more conspiracy angle. Especially when, right after I realized, man, this motherfucker was fucking 17-year-olds can't shoot like that. It's a fucking dead. This mom's a fucking Eastern Star. God damn it. And I felt dumb from that level. But even that stuff, even if everyone didn't agree with my opinion on it, I'm cool. I was glad to just to talk. There's some things I'm cool dying on, but then there's other shits like, man, My channel got hurt because I was talking about some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Some politician twerking hurt my channel. You know what I mean? It's like, that's not worth it. That's not a hill worth dying on. Yeah, why continue to do something that's making you miserable? And YouTube hasn't been for the small creator for years. New channels coming out the gate with full production behind them. Yeah. And I mean, that's also impacted new channels because now there was a time where, and there's still some channels like this, but there was a time where people would come into YouTube with no production budget, no nothing, and just that's it. They just, use the camera phone talking shit. And now I don't think people, I think people assume if you're going to come on to YouTube, you got to have, some polish to your platform off the gate. And so I think a lot of creators have just been scared off by needing full production. So we have people where it's like, I'm not going to get on YouTube until I spent 10 grand on a full production suite. Some of them are industry plants. Some of them are just corpos with expendable income. You know what I'm saying? Which, to be honest, isn't too different from yours truly. In that situation, thank Christ the student body stood with the actual victim. Yep, they did walk out on her behalf, bipolar. That's a good point. They sure did. They walked out on her behalf, and they did stand by the victim. But, did the mainstream media cover that story? So that's where I was cool to cover that stuff when I was doing the news stuff every day. It's like, because I felt like, legitimately, like, I don't care if it's only 50 people who are going to watch this fucking video. At least some people will still tell me of those 50. Man, I didn't know this was happening because there was no coverage. So that I'm cool if covering those sort of subjects. I covered the stuff in Baltimore about how messed up that school system is. I really went at the school systems at one point, real bad. And if that stuff got me in some trouble, man, I'm cool. But if yelling about Kathleen Kennedy or even some of these dumb politicians, because I think that got me in some trouble when the dumb bitch was twerking for votes. It's like, that's not worth losing content on, because it's like, if you value what you bring to your table, which I do, it's like to have all that loss on these stupid political arguments, you know what I'm saying? And one of my issues with the right is the inability to fucking breathe air. And what I mean is, like, being so stuck in these culture war caves that they don't realize what's happening outside of them, and they don't realize how they look to the outside world because they assume everyone that's not, you're against us, or everyone's the radical left and whatever the fuck. And as a result, like, I get that you don't want to answer everyone that's like, oh, you're racist just because you have this point of view, or you're Islamophobic, and how that became such a, you almost don't even answer it, right? You don't even account for, oh, this person must be an idiot because they're using this tired response. I get that to some extent, but I feel like a lot of ground was lost because of not, like, properly. I think, to a lot of people, a lot of this shit does come off Islamophobic, and that I don't think proper context has been provided for that. I think the average person hears a lot of these arguments and still think, oh no, you're just a hater, you're just this, and you'll go at this average person who you think to be some radical leftist just because you haven't properly made your argument in a way that they can understand, and you just, it's like, no, maybe you're not making your point, or you're picking hills to die on that you shouldn't. I talked about the fucking Little Mermaid. Listen, man, the Little fucking Mermaid is a shitty movie that taught a bunch of girls to throw away your whole family and chase dick. I'd rather she stay white, my guy. You know what I'm saying? But, like, to sit here and argue over, and listen, and she's a Marine Kingdom demon. So I'd rather she stay white, my guy. But to sit here and argue over her race, you gotta know you're gonna probably look crazy as fuck, and not have that awareness. Is I don't know what I'm keep doing with the same combo. It's like, what the fuck, my guy? Self-proclaimed anti-racist are the most racist people I know. But, you know, a lot of that here's the thing, and this is how y'all got fooled, or a lot of the people on the right get fooled. It's like the gremlin in the wing of that fucking Twilight Zone. Nobody sees the gremlin but you. So when they kept leading with race and leading with identity politics, and you follow behind them, you just look like you end up looking like the more racist one, when in reality you weren't. In reality, you know, take what's that shit? CRT, critical race theory. In reality, critical race theory teaches you that anything productive is whiteness. That lateness is, you know, being on time and working hard, and deductive reasoning is whiteness. So CRT is actually in and of itself racist. But look how they market it towards the masses. Oh, you don't want people knowing about history. And so what happens is, when you're confronted with that sort of argument, instead of assuming that the person making that argument is just a raging leftist and therefore will not agree with you in any way at all, actually explore, because that person may have just been misinformed by the mainstream media. And you might have somebody that, if they actually understood your point of view, would agree with it. And you might have a convert on your hands, but you don't see that. You just see a radical leftist. Like, no, this person's not a radical leftist. They don't know what's actually happening. They don't know that their kids, you know, we cover, going back to the education system, black principals fucking segregating classes. We had black teachers say that black students couldn't think critically. And I'm like, and then we was like, well, what the fuck is Neil deGrasse Tyson? How does he exist then? If black people can't think critically, how do we have black, you know, geneticists and all this other stuff if black people can't think critically and, you know, can't be educated or whatever the fuck this teacher said? But that's not what's going across the airways. So when someone's is pro-critical race theory, I'm going to go ahead and say, if they aren't, you know, the blue-haired leftists, they probably don't know no better. And so there's my guess, the long and short of my big criticism of the right in the culture war is, you didn't really do your due diligence trying to get hearts and minds, did you? Because you weren't as conscious of the fact that there were people who were just misinformed and just didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And you took anyone that came at you as disagreement as they must be on the other side. No, there's no way they could just have the wrong information, and that maybe this is a not teachable moment. I hate to use that term, but maybe it's an educational moment where you say, hey, you know, here's the information. This is what I'm basing it off of. If you disagree, I understand, but this is what it is. And I don't see like that. I don't feel like that was a part of the push, because that interrupts the grift. You know, I talked about how even with BLM, the left is tearing down our cities. I mean, yeah, but really it's George Soros is tearing down our cities. You know what I'm saying? He's the one funding it. There's U-Hauls who are coming out of the Pacific Northwest to all these other cities. There are individuals who are from Portland, from Washington, in the education systems of Portland and Washington, and they're getting caught in Minneapolis, Chicago, now with the stuff in Memphis, stuff in Atlanta. They're getting caught all across the country, and they're getting bailed out. So no, this isn't the radical left. This is a specific organization that is doing this with funding. But that doesn't get the rah-rah. If you say that doesn't get the us versus them dollars. If you say, no, this is something and this is an attack on our country by the you know, it's easier to blame the left, which of course the left was at blame and co-signing it. But when you talk about the actual operatives, that wasn't just random. These weren't just random lefties who saw some shit on TV. These were organized motherfuckers, a part of a fucking destabilization organization. This was a destabilization organization. These were not just random people going out looting and tearing shit up. This was, I showed this in some of the early videos where I covered the damn night of Kyle Rittenhouse. You can see them moving supplies and shit. I've covered the U-Hauls. You see motherfuckers moving shit up, piles of bricks just in random places. That shit was completely, you know what I mean? Complete astroturf at best. It wasn't real. But then, the left. Okay, well, got to keep the culture war going. Got to keep the, culture war is a psychological operation to keep people divided, man. To keep people divided. Nothing more, nothing less. So let's see what you got. I see K2J. I see Young Waifu. Lucky Chloe. Dancing. I'm just trying to see because I see you guys had a lot of comments and it went past what I was seeing. So Lucky Chloe can dance for Heihachi while we read comments. Let's see. It's minimal. You can get a little bit more on YouTube. Talk about Rumble. Is there a lot of growth? I don't know if there's growth on Rumble. I do know. Was it Rumble that did the slap? They signed a deal with the slap organization. I thought that was cool. I think one of these platforms will pop off eventually. They just got to make the smart moves. But there is supposedly freedom for now Rumble, but I don't know how growth there is. But if you want to be the guy, you know what I mean. If Rumble's gonna grow, I thought the Tates could have been those guys, but somebody's got to be the PewDiePie. Somebody's got to be that star of a platform. Yeah, the schools are fucked. Looked into selective emotional learning. Never heard of that. And yeah, anti-racist are the right kind of racism, so it's finding their book. You talked a little bit about some of the anti-racist. Okay, Lucky, you're getting annoying. The anti-racist stuff with whiteness, hard work is whiteness, and all this other dumb shit, and they're proud of it. That's a reference. If you know. I don't know if Papa Cotton meant that reference, but I did. But yeah, they are proud about it. They're anti-racist bullshit. Don't forget about vocabulary. Count how many times, man. Right? If brothers and sisters, that's an internal thing. How many brothers and sisters try to call you a damn sellout because you got a vocabulary going? Clifton Duncan retweeted a person exclaimed, "No one was forced to take the jab." Isn't that goddamn revisionist history shit crazy? They probably don't consider themselves leftists. K2J, you speaking like a white man. Stop. But yeah, it is messed up. A black person can't sound educated without being called a fucking sellout. I told we sound white. I've wondered, now I've caught up in comments, so we can stop this bitch from dancing. I've wondered what is the cultural damage of that. And honestly, one thing I noticed in the younger generation is I think there's less of that. I felt that way for a long time, and that's good, man. People should try to, don't speak like I do because I'm fucked up. But you should try to speak the best English you fucking possibly can, and try to, be the best communicator you can. That shit shouldn't be discouraged. It's like fucking, not to go full Charleston white, but it's just one of the silly things that's been a part of the culture that I think is changing, but there definitely is some shit like that, man. And you're right, Soros is a front man, but he's closer to listen, trust me, he's closer to the source than just some radical than the blue-haired bitch from the neighborhood or from the that damn, what's that chick with the Trump in the green screaming no? Cause that's who the Daily Wire and the Daily Choir and all these other right propagandists, that's what they wanted you to be mad at, was either somebody with a BLM shirt on or her, and think, yeah, that's the source of the problem. But you're right, Soros is just a front. I can say World Economic Forum, but at least I can pin it to Soros. You know what I mean? At least he's the, at least I can say hey, he's the guy. You pin it. Yeah, all those bricks just appeared there. this is radically, atomized there. It's frustrating. People causing this aren't even in this country. Yeah, World Economic Forum. I think that's that's probably more accurate. I'm practicing, but I'm just I ain't doing it. Let's get some treasure battle. Get some treasure battle because we ain't going online where I'm at. Aliens did this. Yes, it's divide and conquer. That's what my real point. It's always been power control. Right and left mean nothing. Exactly. And that's really where I'm. They're aliens. I like that one. Aliens, area leans. I don't know if that was intentional, but shit, when you talk about the fucking property value gimmick they did, and they're doing even in some of these, these cities. This is a waifu battle. Hey, K2J, did you see the announcement for Tekken 8? And if so, what are your thoughts? Because they gave some details on the fucking changes with the mechanics. I'm not sure. I mean, until I play it, I'm not going to know how I feel. That's the reality. Bouncy. The Daily Choir, yeah. The Daily Choir. The Daily Queef. Sounds like the stay in the field, yeah, mentality. No wonder the black bougie are pushing it, but gotta protect their status. I feel like there's been a pushback against the speaking properly thing. In the past 10 years, I felt that way. I felt that way the past 10 years. I had lefty weirdo. Oh yeah, you talked about that. We talked about the lefty weirdos you've had to deal with your property. And you say people won't do anything till it knocks on their front door. You're not wrong. Shh. Since you did it, you're not wrong. Most people don't even do shit then. Because people get scared. That's the truth. People get shook. Yeah, calling someone a grammar Nazi has been a thing. I mean that's different. We talk about grammar Nazi. If you're, I think we're talking about people just being not for trying to speak properly. We're not, nobody wants a grammar Nazi. Like that's a whole nother can of worms. Damn it. Shit. Fucking up. Damn it. Daily Queef. You like that one. It's different when you dealing with them in real life instead of watching them online. Also true. Oh, I thought I was blocking, bitch. Chloe is fun. Yeah, I like Chloe. I used to didn't, but I started playing with her. Chloe's cool. People hate her because she's a waifu. I'm sick of the Chloe hate. Because it's like, you have Eddie in the game, but she has a different style than Eddie. You know? God, I'm so bad with the combos. Oh, nice. Yeah, Chloe's just getting sturdy. Yeah, her little dancing style. I like Lucky Chloe. I don't think she's gonna make Tekken 8 roster though. I don't think she's gonna make it. I hope she does. I'm the only one who wants Lucky Chloe on Tekken 8. I really do. I really am. The waifu thing is cringe, and I've been critical of that. I'm critical of that with Street Fighter 6 and what they did with fucking Chun-Li. Like, listen, I like thick thighs as much as more than the next man. Trust me. But come fucking on, man. Like, you know, not to go full feminist leftist, but you know, can we believable body types, please? No woman on earth is built like Chun-Li. If she is, can I please, you know, kind of wish she came in at Tekken 5. If she would have a better chance of sticking around if she had been, you know, a little bit more. Oh, God, got me. Shit, am I fighting Majin? What the fuck? God damn. This is supposed to be the computer. Even though I know they for Treasure Battle they modeled it after play, I think. Live play. Like, am I fighting Lil Majins? What the fuck? Oh man, they got me. Damn it. Bitch. Yeah, I hope she's in Tekken 8. Yeah. What do you think? Did you say something about the mechanics already? I don't see. But yeah, what do you think if you saw the Tekken 8 announcement where they broke down the heat mechanics? What do you think of it? And as far as the waifu thing, like I said, man, I don't want these games to dead or alive themselves. I don't want these games to go where they and what I mean by if you guys remember the series from back in the day, Dead or Alive, it was a really good fighting game, and you know had a lot of jiggle effects, and they made that part of the marketing and the women and everything, and then it lost its way as a fighting game because of it. And I get we're in the post fan service waifu era. And so there's a lot of these games trying to, and then we have the anime explosion of the past. You know, anime's been big in this country since the, 80s, 70s, 60s if you count Speed Racer. But obviously the past 10 years, it's been just an explosion as far as the mainstream goes. And I am spamming that move. And so there's been this capture, like, okay, with a lot of these games, to really emphasize the sexuality of the characters. And hey, I'm not trying to be a prude. I just don't want to lose the game in the fan service. That's all it is. I'm not sure what happened in 6. I don't think DOA 6 is bad. After 2 or 3, I feel like it lost a lot of its steam because they became the TNA game. Damn it. Here we go with this shit. I should know Jack. Golly. Watching a ton of comedy since the woke have canceled so many. Surge of really sharp, edgy comics. That's what Matt was, you know, he was all on that. Whenever, anytime somebody said comedy was dead, he would go, you know, go full ascension dildo. Like, you're just not looking hard enough. You know what I'm saying? But he, you know, he is right. I think that, because that's the truth about anything, man. Shit. We're in this new era where God, I thought I might have a chance. Basically, the independent entertainment, you know, whatever you're looking for, it does exist. You're looking for music. Oh, there's a good band out there, a good, you know, rapper or whatever group you're, you know, genre you're into. There's somebody who's good of that, who's good from that discipline. I'm about to get fucked up. Looking for a good comedian? There's a good comedian out there, but you're not going to necessarily find them looking in the mainstream. You have to do a little bit more digging when you didn't before. And that's the new thing. But, you know what I mean? This entertainment exists. This stuff exists. So it takes more effort. And yeah, there were far worse TNA games than DOA, but DOA was a really good fighting game. And I haven't played, the recent ones. I just think it hurt its credibility when it became the TNA game. Because if you guys remember, that was one of the Dreamcast biggest games was DOA. That was a huge game for that system. And then even when the Dreamcast went away, it was still a big franchise. But it was just, the beach volleyball and everything but the game. And there were, there were worse offenders, but come this motherfucker. Fucking Leroy. Yeah, it's double damage. That's why I'm getting fucked up. No, I thought I blocked that. Thought wrong. God damn. That's to dig that deep. You enter one name from someone, the algorithm spam you with the rest. Very true. Matt is a little soft when it comes to comedy, says Papa Cotton. Very soft. Wow. He said he's like a terry cloth. Very soft. Shout out to Killer Cam. That's what Central Dildo said. I didn't say it, Matt. I didn't say it. God damn it. I'd rather deal with WWE games than Rumble Royals. Do a bunch of shit. Yeah. I haven't played the recent WWE games, and I've been meaning to for like 2 years. Because, shout out to the 2K team. They took time off, which most games that have a yearly release schedule just don't do. Speaking of WWE King of Kings, which obviously is actually a Jesus reference, but just one of Triple H's nicknames. Yeah, I've been wanting to play. It was a 22 because they took a year off. I don't think there is a WWE 21. I left myself up when I missed. Practically turned it into Rebel Roses, but with dudes. He said he doesn't like Kill Tony because they're too mean. I see. It's nothing wrong with oh shit, here's a bear. Maybe they were too mean. You guys are just too. Maybe he's just you guys are just too brutal. No, I don't know. You guys have mentioned Kill Tony. I feel like I have saw it for Culture Crime Fighters or something, but I don't remember it offhand, so I ain't gonna lie to you. This bear! Fuck, he came back on me. K2J said you wonder if these online players, man, shit like that makes me wonder. Shit like that makes me wonder. Oh, wow. I think they get this from online players. I think they get like the move set from online and then add it to the game. Fuck. Now I'm starting to get work. Rumble Roses wasn't bad, had some interesting moves in it, but they were overt when it came to the sexual stuff. Yeah, I think there's a balance to be had when it comes to trying to push the sexualization of something and then trying to like still have it be a game. Like I get it, sex sells, but it can also make something seem goofy and seem corny. You know what I'm saying? Sheesh. Bitch. Panda fighting waifu. There's a joke in there, right? But shit, you know about the panda eyes. Shout out to Orlando Brown. Got him. Yeah, I think that it's a. I've seen gameplay of Rumble Roses, and it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? It's and then because graphics have come along so much better since. That's another thing. It looks goofy by today's standards. Like, did someone bust a nut to these pixels? Like, what? How, my guy? How, Sway? How? SmackDown, here comes the pain. And SmackDown versus Raw 06. I was honestly satisfied with the bra and panties matches. I see. Again, that's it's part of a complete package. Pun intended. No pun wasn't intended, but I saw it there, so it's there now. I think that's the thing. You just can't you can't sex can sell a product, but it can't keep a product that isn't good or that isn't more refined. It can't sell that. It can't sell nothing. Did I listen to that freestyle? Which freestyle? Is it something that you put in the chat today? Because if so, I don't think I heard it. If it's something you put in the chat previously, maybe. But yeah, if you just put it in the chat now, I haven't checked it out. I still gotta check out that lecture you put in the chat earlier. Gotta make sure I grab that. Bitch. You underestimate the power of the weed? Maybe I do. Nah, last time. Golly. I would say, which artist was it? Because I've been listening to a shit ton of freestyles, man. I've been listening to, because I got to do something. I got to post them myself with my own. It's some spitters out there. Let me tell you. God damn. Even though extra bras I threw in can't be in those matches, I legit make underwear matches with them. Doubt I ever do that on stream. Yes, probably. As goofy as these stupid YouTube standards are, it's probably smart to keep that off the stream. I fucking hate Lydia too. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Top tier pin stuff. I'm a hold on, let me bookmark this shit now. Hope I don't dox myself. Let's see. This is recent, so I'll check this out. I'll check this out after the stream. Yeah, I gotta start doing my own freestyles, and I gotta figure out a set for the freestyles. I kind of have one in the house, and got a whole thing. I gotta figure something. I might just start with some simple shit, just me in this room and this mic. So we'll see. But yeah, definitely I've been listening to quite a few. Quite a few freestyles. I like it. Whenever he falls, it's like some cake falls. Shit. That's a great one. You need inspiration. Truly great, yeah. But I've been listening to even some smaller guys. This one guy, shout out to Four Eyes, who I've come across. Got, doesn't have like maybe 10,000 subs, maybe less. Spitting. Guys, spitting. He's a dude from Chicago, based out of Atlanta. Actually seen some of the extra divas I see in the games that were left out in the games. What'd you think of them? Was I somewhat on point? Yeah, I've seen you some plays. And yes, that dude does have a cake in his head. I thought it was cool. I usually like whatever you do with your streams, man. I like to, cause yeah, a lot of people were left out of those games depending on what year it was. So that's cool that you add the characters in. Dude's very underrated. I like all spitters. Cool. Man, this is the era. I used to have so many fucking freestyles, man. So many fucking mixtapes and shit. And, there was no social media back then. And this is all we would do, man. And I just wondered, like, golly. Just going off of the little shitty numbers I'm getting off of TikTok, I'm like, 800 views? We never got 800 people to do anything. I'm getting 800 views off of a half-ass video? You know what I mean? This ain't even a full beat-making video. It's just a half-ass video with me playing a sample, get 800 views. So what's going to happen when I start, showing? I'm probably going to end up doing a freestyle to that beat. What's going to happen when I start giving y'all full songs and music videos and fucking guitar shit? And man, I ain't even cracked the beginning of this damn surface. So we're in this social media, and it's such a, man, people didn't want to hear you. Oh, you rap. Everybody rap. Now people, oh, you rap. Let me hear your shit. You got some bars? Oh, man, you nice. It's a different era. We're back to the era where I think if you're nice, people respect nice MCs again. And that's, thank anybody. Thank Kendrick. Thank J. Cole. Thank anybody who you think added to that. But I think the nice MC is respected again. So if you got bars, people looking for, man. I've seen so many cool little freestyles. Just looking at YouTube shorts, I forgot. I want to say my man was from Memphis or something. They had him in a straight jacket. Oh man, I wish I could find that one. They had bro in a straight jacket and a motherfucking like the Hannibal Lecter thing, and they took the fucking mask off. The boy started spitting. I was like, oh hell no! But he was spitting. It's such a different era now. You know what I mean? And it's good to see. It's good to see. You know what I'm saying? It's good that we're seeing a lot of that. People respect nice. There's a limit to it unless you're Kendrick. Took forever for me to throw him in. Can never do that good. Man, we talk about the creative characters now, and I'm losing the Fangway. Not perfect bitch. Fucking Fangway. Damn it. You stole creative wrestlers off the internet. The car scene is a whole can of worms, my guy. There's people who spend all day creating wrestlers, trying to create certain characters or real people. So if you got to steal it online, no shame in that, man, guy. No shame. People respect nice. It's just this limit to unless you're Kendrick. Yeah, saw that one. Yeah, Memphis was always on that demon shit. Man, Memphis is coming back hard, man. Memphis is coming back hard right now. I'm liking some of the Memphis. What's the guy named Deuces? He's a big dude. He's dancing. He's done some songs with Glorilla. They got the one shit to sample the DMX intro. That shit's clean, man. He's got some songs. So I've been having my ear to the street in recent weeks, recent months, trying to listen to the new, and I like what I hear, man. I'm proud of these youngsters, man. I'm very proud, and not just from a talent standpoint, from a marketing standpoint, even from a content standpoint. Not everybody. Some of these guys are talking about just spitting, but not everybody is all on the shoot 'em up, bang bang bullshit. It's a lot of guys with something to say. Guys and gals with something to say, and I think as much hip-hop deserves a lot of criticism for a lot of negative culture is put upon my people in particular, unfortunately. But man, again, like we said with comedy, it's not fair to hold everybody accountable for what the mainstream is doing, and then at the same time ignore what all the people below the mainstream are doing. That's just not a fair thing. I was listening to your boy Yod, your old Drew. I think he had a recent song or something that came out, and I'm like, this is clean. This is good music. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's no, oh, she got me, bitch. So listen to talking, this whole got me. But I'm like, there's just no shortage of good music out there. So it's like, and I don't want to give you too many flowers, but I got, you were right in this case, Mr. Sentient, as far as maybe the attitudes I may have had when I first started this channel towards a lot of music, and that's it for me. I'm gonna hit this. Damn it, that's it. So yeah. Your yacht is nasty. Jack Black Sushi again. Yeah, let me get this guy's name, the big guy. I think it's Duke Deuces. He's got a song, Just Say That came out last year that I've been banging. Duke Deuce, yep, Duke Deuce is the guy. He's got a song with Glorilla. He's got a couple songs with Glorilla. So, yeah, Duke Deuce, I've been listening to some of his music. You just said Memphis is on that demon shit. He can be on that shit too. It's that Memphis shit, but he has dancing. He does, what's that shit, juking? Lamb of God has a new album. Might not be your style. Might be, though. Who knows? I'm assuming it's in the metal space or somewhere along that. I feel like I've heard of that group too. They've been around for some years, but I don't know them offhand. See, here's another limitation I have as a Tekken player that I used to. I have worked out, but it's working from both sides. I'm not as good as I used to be with that. You see how often I spam this kick. Golly. Oh, I thought I had that shit perfectly dodged. Golly. Fuck that up. Got you, bitch. Goodness, that was intense to me. All right, guys. I think after all the crashes and controversy we've caused, I think we're getting close to, I don't think we're going to call it a wrap. But you know what? There's one subject I meant to talk about. I'm going to go one more battle. Because one subject I meant to talk about, and I meant to damn near make it a short. It's a subject I've talked about a little bit, and that is sports being rigged. And the reason I wanted to talk about it is because I can't help but to see the value. I was watching the damn, YouTube shorts, and the fucking Bill Cooper from Behold a Pale Horse. You don't know what that book is, you need to read it. It tells you a lot about how this world is really ran. And he talks about the bread and circus of the sports industry. Is like, man, people think they know the first baseman from the Mets, and they think that's some honor, and they have this fake camaraderie about it. And he's just talking shit about how sports are just a big distraction, right? And so that's why I feel like it needs to be said that there is rigging in these sports, right? But in saying that, there's so many people who don't believe, think anything's a conspiracy theory. But man, if you watch the goddamn documentary, if you watch the fucking documentary on the referee, oh my God, what's his name? Tim Donaghy. You watch that documentary, Donaghy, that ends whether or not sports, or at least there's no way to say that the NBA is not corrupt after watching that documentary. Why? Well, in that documentary, Tim Donaghy is still very wealthy years and years after his alleged legal issues and whatnot, and his falling out with the NBA. So you see, okay, he made a lot of money from his gambling exploits. And he's even asked about it in this little controversial segment in the little controversial segment in the movie. But then you find out that all but 4 referees admitted to gambling to the FBI. You also find out that David Stern bribed a federal agent with the job with the NBA. Now, who do you know investigated by the Federal Bureau of Investigations that can tell the head investigator, hey, we like the work you're doing, you should work for us? Can you do that? Can you tell the FBI agent that, hey, you should work for me while you're being, investigated by the FBI? I don't think you can, but somehow David Stern could. Somehow David Stern got the whole case thrown out, or the NBA got the whole case thrown out, and none of their partners will tell you the story. They'll still tell you Donaghy's a lone wolf, even though the FBI tell you that's a lie. They'll still say, Donaghy was just one guy, but the FBI has it on record. No, he was absolutely not just one guy. Everybody gambled. That's what the FBI has on record. Yet none of those media partners, none of them will tell you that. That looked like a damn grape just got prevented. But none of them will tell. None of those media partners, ESPN, Turner, Bleacher Report, for some reason, even though the evidence is there, none of them will tell you that, oh no, multiple referees, most of the referee staff of the whole NBA at that time admitted to the FBI that they were gambling. So nobody can tell you that. So you're telling me none of these companies, ESPN, can report that and figure this out, even though this documentary could? The only reason we know about it is because the documentary was on Netflix, and Netflix does not have a deal with the NBA. And then you want to tell me that the shoe companies that work with the NBA and that ESPN that works with the NBA, that somehow they have a connection with this corrupt league that we can prove now is corrupt. Not my opinion. It's not my theory. It's not my, I don't need magnets in the balls, all the other stuff. All I need is testimony to people who say, yep, I'm gambling, even though I'm a referee. All I need is most of the league referees going on record admitting to gambling. That's all I need. All I need is the damn commissioner of the sport bribing a federal investigator on record. This is a matter of now public record, and no reporting has told you over the past 20 years or 15 years since this story is broke. No major network has reported anything on this, and it will still tell you he's a lone wolf. Still to this day will lie to you. So don't tell me there's no corruption in these sports. And then, if you want to talk about football, which is admittedly not as dirty as old David Stern was when it came to basketball, but let's take a look at the Kaepernick thing. And not from the political stance that it always gets. Kaepernick made, millions in settlement dollars from the NFL. I think $60 million plus from Nike. The NFL got the biggest contract it ever got from its TV partners, and its TV partners made countless millions off of advertising and TV network ratings. So you tell me what happened. If everybody made money in the process, what the fuck was that really about? You tell me. You tell me. You tell me, and I can't go out like no bitch. I ain't gonna go out on no L. So that's it. I just wanted to toss that out there because I wanted to do a clip on that. That's something I had in my head. Like, okay, make sure you talk about that. So I'm like, after my next W, we're gonna get in and get out on that. But yeah, that's my thought. Listen, man, sports are corrupt. I don't know to what extent. I couldn't tell you if every person is in on it. I know there was a big thing. Arian Foster had an interview. A lot of people saying he's being sarcastic when he's talking about the script and all this other stuff. I didn't watch the whole interview. I just saw clips myself, so I can only speak so much. But there's just too much money when it comes to gambling. Too much on record. Again, like I said, that Donaghy stuff is all matter of public record. And we can see that the media partners are not reporting the full story correctly or completely. So you don't know that all those other referees admitted to gambling on sports. You don't know that Tim Donaghy still is, he looks like he's to be a millionaire. Even though, similar to what we talk about these politicians, for a referee salary, you're doing pretty good, man. There's a lot of athletes that he was refereeing that are broke. And he's doing pretty good. So clearly, there was a lot of money to be made off the gambling thing, and he wasn't the only one making money off the gambling thing, and there's no reporting of it, and there's no publicization of it. And like I said about the Kaepernick thing, everybody made money. Everybody made money. Kaepernick made money. The leagues made money. The shoe companies made money because they were selling, special, all the end racism and crazy BLM gear that Nike still sells. And the networks made money, and the leagues, which lost their initial money, to ratings and all that, they end up getting the money back on the TV deal. It's almost as like, if I didn't know any better, which I don't, I'm speculating, this is alleged, I would say, hey, the TV company said, you know what, we need a story. We need something. Damn it, I'm dying again. I don't want to end on an L. We need something to push. And how much that Kaepernick get? It led off TV, that led off ESPN, it led off CNN, Fox News. It was a full service. You know what I mean? It made a lot of money for the cable networks. The only people that would have lost money would have been the NFL. But then again, like I said, they make it back on the TV deals. So if you didn't know any better, you would think the TV companies, maybe the shoe companies too, because they made their money selling shoes, say, hey, let's cause a little controversy right quick. We'll give you, a nice little settlement from the league, and we'll give you, some millions in a shoe contract. We just need you to, you ain't doing nothing with your career, my guy. We just need you to create a little controversy real quick. We'll do the rest. I'm about to get fucked up. Don't know that it happened, but don't know that it didn't either. NFL doesn't wear Nike, though. That's a college thing. That NFL still has an influence on that. These shoe companies have a bigger influence. These shoe. Oh, you talking about Kazumi, Shane Harden, Azazel, or Unknown? No, she's not. Unknown is impossible. He said you can't have everybody in on it. That's not how corruption works. I mean, it is if That's I thought that's exactly how corruption works. We have a lot of people in on it. Just talking about the Kaepernick thing, yeah, man. A lot of people made money. Now you're right. Nike may not have because I don't know who's NFL wearing. Because they've gone from Reebok to Nike to it could be whoever. It could be Adidas right now. I don't know who they're. Cause I don't pay as much of attention. So you might be right to where Nike it isn't even the NFL's current partner. Damn it! I don't believe that bitch got me. Players have their choice to cleats, but usually uniform is Reebok. Okay. Well, hey, they still got to sell those Nike. Nike is still a brand though, and they still use the NFL to sell. They still sell to kids. They still sell to teams, high school teams, don't they? So there's still money off of marketing with Kaepernick. Even if they're not the official partner. Because remember, a lot of people bought it. And I'm not trying to be on the political side. I'm not trying to take the political, that's been taught to death on Kaepernick. I'm just saying, hey, I can prove that he got money from Nike. I can prove he got money from the NFL. I can prove the NFL got the biggest contract they got from TV partners. And we all remember how widely spread that was covered. So, hey, I could be full of shit. I don't know. College, mostly high school, couldn't afford that. I'm not talking about, when I say high school, I should, we talk about college or high level football. You're really talking about prep schools. So let me rephrase that. You're right. High schools can't afford that. Prep schools and some of these NFL or these college houses where the whole point of these schools are to bring in college players, they can. So prep schools, colleges, they're bringing Spacey back in the fold. I did not know that. Yeah, Weinstein was a scapegoat. Good example. You told me that Tar came up with that crap on his own. Oh no, I don't think that. No way. Kaepernick was not a lone wolf. Even his there's people who think his girlfriend, who was Patrick Willis's girlfriend, Ness Nitty, because that's when he started to get crazy, was the one who pushed him up to it. So there's no way he did that on his own. No way. I couldn't tell you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Part of me wants to say it goes real deep, but I know he made enough money. It didn't have to go that deep. I don't think he did it on his own. He might have done, because remember, people not forget, Marshawn Lynch was already sitting down. He never got any issue, as much as Marshawn Lynch got issues from not talking to the press. He was already kneeling and doing that shit, and nobody really cared about it. And it wasn't until Kaepernick started doing it that it mattered. And remember, at the time, Marshawn Lynch is a much bigger player than Kaepernick. But it didn't matter when he did it. Damn it. I'm trying to go out on a win. Damn it! I'm about to complete the comeback. Oh, I'm going to go out on a win, and then we're going to talk about point he started out with the companies in the NFL. I disagree with that. I think he was put up to it. I disagree with that. I think he was put up to it by somebody, rather it was the shoe companies went to him, somebody in the NFL went to him, a network went to him, or his chick. Somebody, I think that was a part of the plan, man. Couldn't tell you to what extent, because I don't go to Eyes Wide Shut parties, but I don't think he was just some organic guy that just happened to get himself caught into it. I think on some level he might have been, but on some level he was coerced. That's just my thought. I mean, you may be right, where it was just something that got co-opted, but I think the whole thing was a work from the jippy jump. Because he didn't even used to wear the afro and none of that shit before. His whole image was different. That's another thing. He didn't even have, Shit. I'm sitting there talking and trying to win. He didn't have that image before. You know what I mean? When he was actually a decent little quarterback for the 49ers, he had a totally different image, totally different look to him, totally different way about him. So that didn't happen until after he fell off. So, I mean, I feel like it was some AstroTurf. I feel like he was coerced into that. Damn it, that's that. Bro, I keep losing because I'm trying to go out here on a victory. Afros are hard to fit underneath the helmet. But that's what I mean. He wasn't this black power guy when he was actually decent. Bro, Grouch, your Afro. If you're talking about the amount of money that got generated from that thing, the amount of controversy that got generated from that thing, and y'all know how crazy I am with the conspiracy. I'm going to always think there was something up with that. I do not believe that was some organic thing that one player just happened to get. No, I don't think that. Because too much money got passed around for me to think that. Yeah, I'm talking about Colin Kaepernick. What I was saying earlier is he got millions from Nike and the league. The league got the biggest contract they had in history, and the media partners got a story that generated probably billions of dollars. So everybody made out. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he was just some AstroTurf. Finally a victory. We can thank you, Lucky Chloe. Wasn't that lucky past few minutes? Sheesh. But yeah, I think it was AstroTurf. I think it was AstroTurf. I don't think he just came up with it and everyone co-opted it. I think somebody went to him with the idea. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. But what do I know? I'm just one asshole on the internet. I don't claim to be the guy who knows everything about everything. I ain't right all the time. I don't go to these eyes wide shut parties. I don't know how this world is ran, but I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody here. Thank you for watching my content. Hopefully, more to come. We'll probably have some clips from this, at least some of the later stuff. Real quick, let me, since you said that's how you do it, some idiot creates something, and big players come in on it and make bank on it. Sometimes that does happen, but Kaepernick wasn't a big player. I just feel there's just feelings of AstroTurf to him. But hey, I ain't an expert. I'm not going to be the guy who tells you I know everything. I can just tell you my opinion, why I think the way I think. But, I don't go to eyes wide shut parties. I don't, some people break down the numerology and understand that. I don't know why everything happens the way it does. I just have my theories. So I appreciate anybody who's riding with me. We are still in the process of switching this channel around. It's becoming more of a gaming and music channel, to be fair. You called him an idiot, not a big player. That's fair. But yeah, man. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share, subscribe, please do that. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. Peace.